Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Simbagrove, and today we're gonna be looking at what to do in the new patch without double tap. So right away, what you want to do is you want to look at your MM tree here and say, okay, let's go over here and play survival or play BM. Yeah, I'm kidding, but not really. But like, I'm kidding. But for real, I'm still playing marks and twos. And if you're watching the stream, TTV Simbagrove, by the way, you know I've been practicing all 300 specs and trying to get good on all of them. Honestly, after playing survival and BM this past 2 weeks, it's actually insane how much better those two specs are compared to MM. MM is the most fun, but you just have to work for your damage so much harder than the other two specs. But if you're like me and sick in the brain and have a passion for the way of the MM Hunter, let's look at the potential builds we could be playing right now. The buff to aim shot and rapid fire we got today is nice. I think they could have done more, honestly, to make up for not having our double tap burst, but gotta take what we can get. I haven't pressed any soul shuffle queues yet, but I've been experimenting with a couple different builds and twos. I still really like volley, so this is how my tree is looking. It's basically the exact same thing I used to run, except instead of true shot crit, we're playing true shot CDR. Volley still gives you some nice burst on the move to cover your explosive shot if it gets dispelled or something. If you can get both explosives to hit each other, like on stacked melee or when a healer and DPS are stacked on a pillar, I really like that aspect of it still. Another good option that I think people should run is if you want to say fuck volley entirely, you can just go the route of Hunter's Knowledge to get 10% just baseline improved crit chance on aim shot and rapid fire. With the buffs today, this might be just the best overall build in most situations. I'm not entirely sure, but I think these are probably the best two builds to run. The consistency of this could outweigh the little burst of volley. It depends on what you're playing. If you're playing with a wizard in threes, you could also even just drop this and go the Wailing arrow readiness route if you have a lot of aim shot uptime. You could drop the point in Superstar Trickery to get Hunter's Knowledge too if you wanted. You could go something like this if you have a lot of aim shot uptime. I'm not really entirely sure. Like 90% of scenarios, you're really not going to have that much aim shot uptime unless you're playing with like an Ellie Shaman or like a Deathstroke or like a Shadow Priest or something and they're not training you. But most of the time when you're getting trained, I feel like volley is just really nice because you can get damage off on the move. So that's what I'm going to be playing in 90% of situations. This is the build I'll be playing. I'm going to try also playing some soul shovels with this build. See how that goes. So I'll have some more information for you regarding that. But I think these are the best two builds. Hunter's Knowledge and the volley, I think, is the way to go, boys. Also, what they changed about Salvo is they made it like just an actual button to press. So if you want to make a volley macro, so you can still just press volley without pressing two buttons. This is what the macro would look like. Basically, just I showed the tooltip for volley, and it's just cast salvo into a cast volley. And that'll let you press it normally without anything different there. So as far as stats go, I still have some mastery, and like I'm enchanting mastery still, and gemming mastery still, just from like leftover when we still had double tap. But now that conquest is gonna get uncapped, I think we might just be better off going full haste on everything, as much haste as possible, just to try to get aim shot down. The thing is, with haste, you can play all three specs. Like haste is the #1 stat for all three specs, so if you just itemize for haste and get a full haste set, you can play all three specs fine without having to swap between gear. I think having a little bit of mastery is good for MM, like maybe on the ring, maybe you can keep the mastery and chance on ring, but overall you probably just want to get as much haste as possible, try to get the aim shot cast down as much as possible. So I would probably go full haste now at this point. So if you're looking to push threes as an MM hunter, like I said, the build you play depends on what you're playing with. If you're playing with a wizard, the Wailing Arrow Readiness route might be the best. But I think if you want to play with a melee, I honestly don't even think MM with a melee at this point is even like really that viable. If you were going to play with any melee, I think you would have to play with like an arms warrior to just have that front line while you just run around and like do nothing. But it's actually crazy when you consider like just how good in survival BM are. Like you don't lose any damage on the move. The thing with marks is you literally have to plant your feet for two seconds to just do pretty much the same damage as like a fucking mongoose bite. But maybe with these aim shot buffs today, aim shot will actually be hitting harder. I've been hitting this training dummy for like a decent amount of damage, like 50k non-crits and like about 100k crits. But yeah, I don't know, boys. I don't know. MM in the 3 setting right now in this meta is pretty rough. Standing still to do damage compared to like the other specs where you can just literally run around and like lose no uptime really while also doing your kiting is pretty crazy. So this is a PvP training dummy. I just aim shot it a couple times. And I mean, I got no crits here somehow, so that's pretty unlucky. But like, aim shot really doesn't like hit for enough, I feel like, for it to be punishing. But if it crits, it should crit for about like 100k, I would imagine. So there is that to keep in mind. We'll see how it really plays out. I think the only comps you could really run right now as an MM Hunter is like Arms KFC, MM Ellie, MM Destro, MM Shadow Priest. I think those are like the only comps you could like actually run. So another thing to note is that they did buff Chimera Shot, so you might be tempted to play this. And honestly, even if this hits super hard, I don't even think it'd be worth playing just for the fact that it breaks CC. It would have to hit for like literally 100k plus in order for it to be worth in my eyes. The fact that it's a two-headed shot and it could just randomly break CC could be really tilting. Like, at the end of the day, we're a hunter, we're a control class. Like, that's one of the reasons I really hate Arctic Bola is that it could just randomly break CC. So, I don't think Chimera is worth running if you're curious about that. Just for that reason that it could just randomly break CC and just grief your trap and you'd be pissed about it probably. So the thing is with MM, like without double tap, you just have to be like a little sneakier with your damage and you have to play like really defensive to create space in order to actually like do things. So like here's a little clip of this guy actually dying with no offensive cooldowns used, just like a volley and a kill shot. Like if you get some crits, you can just destroy people. Like here they're on the pillar aligning me. We have a tar trap on their side. We volley. He runs into the tar trap. The explosive shots hit each other. We get a kill shot. Boom. Guy's gone. Alright, so this is a game without double tap. Into usually hard matchup for MM Hunter. We're playing with the Disc Priest. I actually think the best healers that you can play with these days are like Disc Priest, Resto Shaman, and Resto Druid. So we'll just be showing how to play without double tap. How you kind of want to look for your damage and what you're trying to do. So here we get Frenzied. I thought about dwarfing it, but he goes my priest, so not too much pressure on me. So we go for a silence trap. I scatter the feral, I silence trap, and then I stun the feral myself here. And we get a fear off. I think my healer broke the trap for a sec, but it's fine. We're just cranking with the true shot now. Get some nice damage rolling, a little kill shot proc, a little volley. Force the wall, hit the healer. You just want to really make sure you get value with your true shot and just damage in general. Like, never hit into, like, bark skin, wall, dome, shit like that, you know? I get Basher. He grips me into the dome. Really nice. Looking to get something going here. I scatter the feral on his Tiger's Fury. I think the biggest key to marks, like, especially in Solo Shuffle 2, is you just want to play really defensive. And kind of let dampening like win the game for you almost in a sense. Like here the priest is just pumping me, so I turtle. We kind of overlap paint up and turtle, which is not the greatest, but it's whatever. Here I'm scared beasting the guy to peel my priest because he's doing a lot of fucking damage. I drop steel trap for scare beast into druids, by the way, into feral druids in 2v2. So here I have a silence back and a stun back soon. This is Tiger's Fury, so I'm probably looking to scatter the feral, then silence the healer and stun probably. I kick the healer, silence the healer, cranking this guy, trap the healer off the silence, scatter the feral into a stun. Like, this is a nice mini go that you can do, like, almost all the time as an MM Hunter. Because, like, you really want to save your stun for the kill target as an MM Hunter. We drop the volley there, the explosive shots, kill the guy. GG. That's kind of how you want to do it. So, basically, all in all, guys, MM is still the worst spec. Nothing new there. Without double tap, we were pretty much C tier and, like, very, like, almost unplayable. But with these new aim shot rapid fire buffs, I think we're back to being playable again in the B tier. But make no mistake, Serve and BM are A tier. I wish they never removed double tap, but here we are. Got to work what you got. Coming up soon here, I'll be doing a 0 to 2400 Soul Shuffle challenge on MM on a fresh hunter, seeing how that will feel. So stay tuned for that. I'm also going to try to push 3K plus on all 300 specs live on twitch.tv/simbagrove. We are pretty close. We got up to 2950 on BM and Serve, so we'll have some videos coming out for those specs too. Once again, thank you guys for watching. Hope this video helps you, and good luck with your pushes. I believe MM is still 2700 viable in Soul Shuffle, but past that, that's going to be really hard. Stick to the fundamentals we talked about in my original guide and my previous videos, and anything can happen in any given lobby, though. Keep that in mind. GG's, y'all. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.